Tuesdays at 2. I'm Jay Cottrell, and I'm the Marcom Manager here at LTI. Every Tuesday around 2 p.m. Mountain Time, we go live for about 15 minutes to discuss solutions in traffic safety or in professional measurement. So you can grab a cup of coffee and join us. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing Richard Onaghise from AllTerra Central. He's with one of our partners in the South Central region. And welcome to Tuesdays at 2, Richard.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad you are here. Not very many people met you yet, so could you give me your name, your title, and how long you've been with AllTerra?
Sure. My name is Richard Onaghise. I am in mapping and GIS sales. I've been with AllTerra for about 7 years now, a little over 7 years.
So what first interested you in GIS?
Interesting story. So I didn't, 2013, I started at AllTerra 2014. So in 2013, I didn't know what surveying or GIS was. So I was going to school for electrical engineering, and I was jobless at the time, and that's when I got hired on at Western Data Systems. And I got introduced to surveying and mapping and realized, that there's more to the environment and, all the things that are going around in our world. So that's when I got introduced to GIS. And then from there, I progressed, on into the GIS sales from there.
So do you have a specialty within GIS or a favorite application that you like to work with?
Yeah, so I really like the Trimble TerraFlex tool. You can leverage it with the AllTerra VRS network, and you can use it with the Trimble R2. We have R1, and then you can throw a TruePulse in there too for a really good solution for going out and mapping.
Right. So what territories do you cover in Texas?
My territory, so I'm based out of Austin, Texas, and I cover Austin, San Antonio, and Corpus Christi. So just pretty much just think the southwest region of Texas all the way up to just think of below I-10 or San Angelo. That's my territory. So I have a pretty huge territory and cover a lot of ground. So
yeah, we were just talking that you do a lot of driving.
Yes, absolutely.
Since you kind of came into GIS a little bit differently, have you noticed different types of problems that people bring when they come to seek you out? What kind of problems really bring people to you, and what really piques your interest?
Well, so a lot of things. The first thing that I've noticed is customers. A lot of the customers are used to the traditional ways of doing things. They're on the older systems. And I guess the time that I came in is when we started to update our software, and, as technology is evolving, things are more integrated. Esri, Trimble, LTI, things are collaborating, and all the software is working together. So coming from those old systems where it's legacy devices and, hopping onto these new things that, them being user-friendly and a very seamless workflow, that's been something that a lot of the customers that I've been interacting with love. They love the old traditional way, but when they hear this new workflow and how easy it is, it's like, okay, wow. So that's something that I've picked up on so far
right.
on my tenure. Yeah.
So let's talk about technology. You casually mentioned throwing in a TruePulse into the TerraFlex solution. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So actually, it's a very good tool to have. I can't tell you how many times, when I'm going out to a customer's office and, one of the biggest concerns is, like, can we get a fix if we're going to be in heavy tree canopy, or if we're working downtown in an urban environment, or, you're just on the side of a big building. There's always, that question always comes up in every meeting. And, with the TruePulse, doing the offset, or whether if you're doing the pole inventory, pole audits, that with the integration with Trimble TerraFlex has been, it just makes my life easier for, when the customer comes to me, like, how can you guys address this? And then, I can just go back at them. You compare the TruePulse, and it's integrated in the app. So, and everything can be mounted on the same pole, So it's very easy to use. The learning curve it's nothing. It's a push of a button.
Trimble has worked really hard to make it user friendly, and I think they've done a great job of putting all of that together. Um, One of my favorite things about the Trimble solution is that no matter which LTI laser rangefinder you're using, it recognizes it and does all of the solutions based on that. So that's pretty amazing to me. Um, but it just means that our engineers and Trimble's engineers are working together really well. Um, so what have your customers found about technology? Does it save them time on a project, or have they experienced other benefits?
Yeah, it definitely saves time. It also helps from a safety perspective. You have a lot of municipalities and people that are mapping out manholes, and in some of these areas they can be in the middle of a street, and with the laser true pulse or whichever series you want to go with, you can just now do an offset. You don't have to wait for the road to be clear, so it helps with time and safety at the same time right there. um, you know that's that right there is a pretty good, the most common one that I come across. But yeah.
Yeah, it scares me when I see those guys jump out in the middle of the street to measure a manhole. Um, I just, that's when I wish I was a salesperson and I had like all the demo products and I can just stop and go talk to them.
Exactly.
So, do you find that you have to do a lot of education on what offset mapping is, or what offset data gathering looks like?
um, Not necessarily. Customers have the idea in their head, because of the old solution with the geo, and just in general, like they'll ask that question: is there a way to do this? So whenever you come in and you like, yes, there is a way, and you explain to them, you can use TerraFlex with the Trimble receiver, and then we have laser technology products where you can come in and take your offset or shoot your pull height, and so with the productivity. So yeah, there's yeah.
One of the frequently asked questions that I've encountered is they're concerned about adding a new piece of equipment and how that may impact their accuracy. So, what do you tell them when they have that kind of question?
They don't have to worry about that. So, I mean, if you're just, with TerraFlex, you can pair to two devices. You can pair it to your receiver, and in the settings, you can also pair. There's a separate section in there, so you can pair it to your true pulse, and you can input the antenna or the true pulse height, so it'll account for that. And it works together. There's no issues, and that's been so good because pairing and Bluetooth has been, I would say, years prior has been a big hurdle, but
Right.
it's looking good now. So yeah, TerraFlex supports two things you compare to, well, true pulses specifically, and yeah, it's a seamless workflow.
So, do you have a favorite laser tech product?
I do. So it was between the 360R and the 200X, and I'm gonna go ahead and go with the 200X because I'm an iOS guy. And
Okay,
with
yeah.
the 200X, it's flexible, and when the flexibility is there, I'm always for it. So I'm gonna go with the 200X, and it's the most accurate unit. So
It does have that accuracy. And the 360 just adds in the compass for you. So if azimuth is something that you're interested in, then that's the one to go with. But yeah, the 200X is definitely a workhorse. It's definitely one of our best performers. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I like it.
Do you have any other frequently asked questions or anything that you want to make sure everyone knows about?
Um, so there's a couple. I would say one that I get for the 360R is the calibration process. From some of the rental customers that that don't get the brochure that comes in. So that's a frequently asked question, and then there is a guide on how to do that, and that's one of my frequently asked questions, and I give them that the step by step, or I'll show it to them. But yeah, that's probably the uncommon. Well, it's a common one, but I'm sure you got the change measure of units. That's an easy one to go to, but that's mine.
Okay. We do have a video on our YouTube channel, LaserTech Pro, where it shows you how to do the calibration. It's a newer video that we just put up this year. So, if they've lost the guide or they can't get a hold of you, you can definitely point them towards our YouTube channel as well.
Okay. Awesome. That's good to know.
Yeah. We're always trying to help people out with that, and I know that was a frequently asked one, so we put one together.
Awesome.
Anything else? Any other questions that you end up fielding a lot?
No, not that I can think of at the moment. I mean, that one right there was one that, at the very beginning, it always got me. I was like, oh, but, once, like we said, we talked before, once you go through the struggle and you figure it out, it's like, okay. So every time I got that, I knew what to do. So that's
you're solid with that. That's good.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Richard, I do appreciate you stopping by today.
Thank you.
Do you have any last thoughts to leave with everyone?
Thank you for having me. If you have any questions about Trimble products, LTI products, the AllTerra BRS network, please reach out to your local AllTerra shop. You can ask for Richard, or you can give me a call, and I'd love to chat with you, talk to you. And thank you for having me.
We are proud to partner with AllTerra Central, and I'll just jump on with Richard here. If you live in Texas or Oklahoma or New Mexico, reach out to AllTerra because they are really solid with their GIS knowledge, and they will be able to help you out. And their website is allterracentral.com. Easy to remember and easy to find. I'd like to thank everyone who has stopped by to watch the video today and to meet Richard. So thank you for everyone to stop by. If you want to be alerted about upcoming Tuesday at 2 events, you can click the like button and follow LaserTech's page. And if you're watching the replay on the YouTube channel, click subscribe and the notification bell to get alerted to new videos. And we'll see you again next week on Tuesday at 2 p.m. So until then, keep measuring safely and working smart. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.